Yo, what's up, Speed Demons? Welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, buckle up because we're about to take a wild ride through some of the most slept-on racing games on the PS5 that nobody's talking about. So grab your favorite energy drink, make sure that DualSense is charged, and let's count down the 15 hidden racing gems that you absolutely need in your PS5 collection. And hey, smash that like button if you're ready to add like 10 games to your wish list in the next 20 minutes. You know it's gonna happen. Kicking things off at number 15, we've got WRC Generations, and listen, if you've been sleeping on rally racing, it's time to wake up. This isn't your casual Sunday drive, folks. WRC Generations is the official game of the FIA World Rally Championship, and it is brutally satisfying. You're not racing on pristine asphalt with guardrails and safety barriers. Nah, you're flying through gravel roads in Croatia, sliding through snow in Sweden, and praying to the racing gods that you don't wrap your car around a tree at 100 mph. The immersion here is next level. Your co-driver is literally in your ear, calling out turns. Left 3 into right 2, don't cut. And you better listen because one mistake and you're in a ditch watching your championship dreams evaporate. The physics are tight, the weather effects make every stage feel alive, and the DualSense haptics? Chef's kiss. You feel every pebble, every bump, every moment your tires lose grip. Plus, the career mode is deep. You're managing teams, upgrading cars, dealing with sponsorships. It's like being a real rally driver, except you don't have to worry about actual hospital bills. Why is this hidden? Because everyone's too busy crashing into walls in Forza. But if you want a racing game that rewards skill, patience, and the ability to trust a voice screaming directions at you in Finnish, WRC Generations is your game. Number 14 is Trail Out. And this game is what happens when someone said, what if we made Flat Out but crazier? If you never played Flat Out back in the day, first of all, I'm so sorry. Second, imagine a racing game where the goal isn't just to win, but to cause as much destruction as humanly possible while doing it. Trail Out is pure, unfiltered chaos. We're talking demolition derby vibes mixed with arcade racing, mixed with, did that car just do 3 backflips and land on another car? The tracks are wild. You're racing through explosive-filled arenas, crashing through destructible environments, and the game literally rewards you for wrecking your opponents. Your car gets damaged realistically. Fenders fly off, doors hang by a thread, and by the end of a race, you're basically driving a metal carcass with an engine. And the minigames? Bro, you can launch your driver out of the windshield and try to see how far they fly. It's ridiculous. It's unnecessary. It's perfect. The humor here is top tier too. The game doesn't take itself seriously at all, and honestly, that's refreshing. Sometimes you don't want a simulator. Sometimes you just want to drive a bus into a pile of explosive barrels and watch the world burn. Trail Out is hidden because it doesn't have a massive marketing budget, but if you're looking for stupid fun with friends, this is a must-play. So picture this. You're not racing against other riders directly. You're racing against the track itself, gravity, and your own sanity. Trials Rising is all about precision, momentum, and that just one more try addiction that'll keep you up until 4 a.m. You're riding dirt bikes through these insane obstacle courses. We're talking vertical climbs, explosive barrels, loop-de-loops, and gaps that seem physically impossible to clear. The physics are tight. Every movement matters. Lean too far forward, front flip into oblivion, lean too far back. You're going backwards, my friend. What really sets Trials Rising apart is the World Tour concept. You're traveling to iconic locations around the globe. The Eiffel Tower, the Statue of Liberty, Mount Everest, and each location has these beautifully detailed tracks that feel distinct. The art style is vibrant and colorful, and the tracks are packed with environmental storytelling. The progression system is addictive. You're constantly unlocking new bikes, cosmetics, and sponsors. And the ghost system, Chef's Kiss. You're racing against ghosts of other players, which creates this phantom competition that pushes you to shave off milliseconds. The track editor is wild, too. The community has created some absolutely insane courses, everything from technical masterpieces to troll tracks designed to break your spirit. Why is it hidden? Because people think it's just another Trials game. But Rising perfected the formula. If you want a racing game that's equal parts skill, frustration, and pure satisfaction when you finally nail that perfect run, Trials Rising is essential. Number 12. KartRider Drift. And yes, this is basically what if Mario Kart was Korean and went crazy with it. Listen, I know kart racers are a dime a dozen, but KartRider Drift hits different. This game has been huge in Asia for years, and now it's finally on PS5 and it's free to play. Let me repeat, free to play. The gameplay is silky smooth. Drifting feels amazing, like you're gonna be power sliding around corners like a pro within an hour. The tracks are creative, colorful, and full of shortcuts that reward exploration. And the customization? Yo! You can deck out your kart and character with so much stuff. We're talking skins, emotes, tracks. It's a completionist's dream. The multiplayer is where this game thrives. Races get chaotic fast. Items flying everywhere. People getting wrecked, last-second comebacks. It's that perfect blend of skill and madness. And because it's free, you can easily convince your friends to download it for game night. The characters are adorable too, like aggressively cute. You're racing as these little bobblehead-style racers, and it's impossible not to smile. Why is it hidden? Because it's free to play and people assume it's a cash grab. But it's genuinely one of the best kart racers you can play right now, and you're sleeping on it if you haven't tried it. Number 11 is Tchia, and okay, hear me out. This isn't a traditional racing game, but there's so much racing content in here that it absolutely deserves a spot on this list. Tchia is this gorgeous open-world adventure set in a tropical archipelago inspired by New Caledonia. The art style is vibrant, the music is incredible, and the world just begs you to explore it. But here's the kicker. You can possess any object or animal, including boats, and cars, and birds. The boat racing in this game is low-key some of the most fun I've had in any racing experience. You're sailing across crystal clear waters, navigating between islands, and the physics feel so good. The wind actually matters. You have to adjust your sails, catch the right gusts, and there's this genuine sense of adventure. Plus, there are racing challenges scattered throughout the world. Time trials, boat races against NPCs, and these momentum-based challenges that feel so satisfying to nail. The world design is stunning. Every island feels distinct, the lighting is gorgeous, and you'll constantly stop mid-race just to appreciate the sunset. It's one of those games where the journey matters more than the destination, and the story actually hits emotionally. You're rescuing your father from an evil ruler, and the game blends this heartfelt narrative with goofy humor and exploration. Why is it hidden as a racing game? Because it's marketed as an adventure game. But trust me, if you love racing and exploration, Tchia is a must-play. Hitting number 10, we've got Lonely Mountains, Downhill, and this game is pure Zen therapy disguised as a racing game. The concept is simple. You're mountain biking down these beautifully crafted trails, trying to get to the bottom as fast as possible, but the execution? Perfection. The art style is minimalist, low poly graphics that somehow look incredible. The mountains feel massive, the trails are winding and dangerous, and every run feels like a puzzle. Do you take the safe path? Or do you risk the shortcut that could save 10 seconds or send you flying off a cliff? The sound design is chef's kiss. There's no music, just the sound of your bike, the crunch of gravel, the wind, the birds. It's weirdly relaxing even when you're hauling down a mountain at breakneck speed. And the challenge ramps up perfectly. Early trails ease you in, but later mountains will test you. You'll crash 100 times trying to nail that perfect run, and when you finally do, euphoria. The game also has this cool rewind feature, so when you inevitably crash, you don't restart the whole run. You just rewind a few seconds and try again. It keeps the flow going and prevents frustration. Why is it hidden? Because it looks simple in screenshots. But this is one of those games where you start playing just one more run, and suddenly it's 3 AM and you've unlocked every trail. Number 9, Wreckreation. And if you miss the old Trackmania, Mod Nation Racers vibes, this is your game. Wreckreation is a massive open-world sandbox racing game where you build the tracks. Like, the entire world is your playground. You can create insane loops, jumps, shortcuts, and share them with the community. It's Trackmania meets Forza Horizon meets let's see how ridiculous we can make this track. The map is huge. We're talking a drivable open world with cities, deserts, mountains, beaches, and you can place checkpoints anywhere to create custom races. Want to race from a beach to the top of a mountain through a city? Done. Want to create a loop-de-loop over a canyon? Go for it. The driving feels great too. It's arcade style, so it's accessible, but there's enough depth that skilled players can really push the limits. The cars are customizable, the community is active, and there's always something new to try. The multiplayer is where it gets spicy. Racing on community-created tracks is chaos. Some tracks are legit challenging, Others are purposely designed to troll you. It's beautiful. Why is it hidden? Because it launched kinda quietly and people didn't realize it's basically a spiritual successor to some of the best user-generated racing games ever made. Number 8 is Touring Karts, and this is a VR kart racer that is criminally underrated. Yes, this is PSVR 2 only, so if you don't have the headset, you're missing out. But if you do have it, oh buddy, this is the Mario Kart VR experience you've been dreaming about. Racing in VR is just different. You feel the speed. You can look around corners. You can see opponents behind you. And when you drift, you're literally leaning into it. The immersion is unreal. The tracks are creative and colorful. Classic kart racer vibes with loop-de-loops, jumps, and plenty of shortcuts. The items are fun. Speed boosts, shields, projectiles, and the AI is surprisingly competitive. But the real magic is the sense of presence. You're in the kart. You see your little hands on the wheel. You feel like a kid again. It's pure joy. The game also has a great sense of humor. The track designs are goofy, the characters are charming, and it doesn't take itself too seriously. Why is it hidden? Because PSVR 2 is still a niche audience. But if you have the headset and you're not playing touring karts, you're doing VR racing wrong. Number 7, Wreckfest. And if you want the most satisfying destruction physics in any racing game ever made, this is it. Wreckfest is what happens when you mix realistic damage models with chaotic demolition derby racing. Every crash matters. Cars crumple realistically, parts fly off, and by the end of a race, you're piloting a barely functional pile of scrap metal. The racing is intense. Tracks range from dirt ovals to figure-8 tracks where you're guaranteed to collide with other racers. The AI is aggressive, they'll ram you, spin you out, and show zero mercy. And honestly, that's what makes it fun. The Demolition Derby mode is where this game shines. You're in an arena with 20+ cars, and the goal is simple: be the last car standing. The tension is real. You're constantly scanning for threats, trying to protect your engine and timing your attacks. When you land that perfect hit and watch a car crumple, satisfaction. The vehicle variety is awesome too. You're not just racing stock cars. You can drive lawnmowers, buses, combines, and these ridiculous custom vehicles. And yes, you can upgrade and customize everything. Why is it hidden? Because it launched on PS4 first, so people forget there's an upgraded PS5 version. But trust me, this is one of the most fun racing games you can play, especially with friends. Number 6 is Art of Rally, and this game is what happens when a racing game becomes a work of art. The visuals are stunning. It's this gorgeous top-down perspective with a minimalist art style, vibrant colors, and these beautifully rendered environments. You're racing through Finland, Japan, Norway, Kenya, and every location feels alive. But don't let the chill aesthetic fool you. This is a legit rally simulator. The physics are realistic. You have to manage your speed, your braking, your weight transfer. One mistake, and you're sliding off a cliff or wrapping around a tree. The game has this zen quality to it. There's no aggressive announcer, no over-the-top effects, just you, your car, and the road. The soundtrack is ambient and perfect for the vibe. The career mode takes you through the history of rally racing, from the 60s Group 2 cars all the way to the 80s Group B monsters. Each era feels distinct, and collecting and driving these iconic cars is a blast. The photo mode is also incredible. You'll spend as much time taking screenshots as you do racing because this game is just gorgeous. Why is it hidden? Because it's indie and it doesn't have the marketing budget of a racer. But if you want a beautiful, meditative, challenging rally experience, Art of Rally is essential. Number 5, Hotshot Racing, and this is a love letter to 90s arcade racers like Daytona USA and Virtua Racing. The aesthetic is pure nostalgia. Low-poly graphics, bright colors, chunky car models. It looks like it was ripped straight out of a Sega arcade cabinet, and I mean that in the best way possible. The gameplay is fast. Like, really fast. You're drifting around corners, drafting behind opponents, and the sense of speed is wild. The controls are tight, the racing is competitive, and every race feels like a battle. The track design is fantastic. You're racing through tropical islands, bustling cities, desert highways, and every track has multiple paths and shortcuts. Learning the optimal line is half the fun. The modes are great too. You've got Grand Prix, time trials, and this awesome Cops and Robbers mode where you're either fleeing from the cops or playing as the cops trying to bust racers. It's chaotic and so much fun. The multiplayer is where this game gets legendary. Races get intense. Split-second decisions, last corner overtakes, photo finishes, it's arcade racing at its finest. Why is it hidden? Because people assume it's just a retro throwback and don't realize it's actually one of the tightest arcade racers in years. Hey. Number 4 is Redout 2, and if you ever played Wipeout and thought, I wish this was faster and more intense, congratulations, your wish has been granted. Redout 2 is an anti-gravity racer that is relentlessly fast. We're talking speeds that make your brain hurt. You're piloting these sleek hovercrafts through insane futuristic tracks, loops, corkscrews, tunnels, and the sense of speed is absurd. The skill ceiling here is high. You're not just steering, you're managing your ship's pitch and roll, you're timing your boosts, you're memorizing every turn because at 800 mechs or what, you don't have time to react. It's pure adrenaline. The tracks are gorgeous. Neon-soaked cities, alien planets, orbital stations. Every location feels distinct and the art direction is stunning. The game also runs at a buttery smooth 60 FPS on PS5, which is essential for a game this fast. The career mode is deep. You're upgrading ships, unlocking new parts, tweaking your setup for each track, and the variety of race types keeps things fresh. Time trials, elimination races, boss battles. The soundtrack is fire too. High-energy electronic music that perfectly matches the intensity of the racing. Why is it hidden? Because Wipeout casts a long shadow and people don't realize Redout 2 is the true successor to that legacy. If you love futuristic racers, this is non-negotiable. Number 3, Dirt 5, and this is the most underrated off-road racer on PS5. Dirt 5 is pure fun. It's not a hardcore sim like the main Dirt Rally series. This is arcade-style off-road racing at its finest. You're power sliding through mud, snow, ice, and dirt tracks all over the world, and it feels amazing. The track variety is insane. You're racing through the streets of New York City, across frozen Norwegian lakes, through Chinese deserts, and every location is beautifully detailed. The weather effects are next level too. Dynamic weather can completely change a race mid-event, and adapting to conditions is key. The career mode is awesome. You're climbing the ranks in a fictional racing series, and the story is told through podcast-style narration featuring Troy Baker and Nolan North. It's charming, it doesn't overstay its welcome, and it adds personality to the whole experience. The car roster is stacked. Rally cars, buggies, trucks, rock bouncers. There's so much variety, and every vehicle feels distinct to drive. In the Playgrounds mode, it's basically a track editor where you can create your own insane custom tracks and share them with the community. The creativity people have shown here is wild. Why is it hidden? Because it came out around the same time as a bunch of other racers and got lost in the shuffle, but this is one of the most fun racing games on PS5, period. Number 2 is Assetto Corsa Competizione, and if you're a sim racing nerd, this is your jam. ACC is the official game of the GT World Challenge, and it is hardcore. This isn't for casual players. This is for people who want the most realistic racing simulation possible. The physics are laser accurate, the tire models are complex, and you need to understand racing lines, braking points, and car setup to be competitive. The immersion is unmatched. You're racing iconic GT3 cars like the Lamborghini Huracan, McLaren 720s, and Porsche 911, and every car feels different. The force feedback is incredible, the sound design is top tier, and when you nail a perfect lap, chef's kiss. The weather and time of day system is insane. Dynamic weather affects track conditions in real time. Rain changes grip levels, temperature affects tire performance, and racing at night with only your headlights? Terrifying and amazing. The career mode puts you in the shoes of a GT racer, and it's all about consistency and racecraft. You're managing tire wear, fuel loads, pit strategies. It's as close to real racing as you can get without spending millions on an actual race car. Why is it hidden? Because it's a sim, and casual audiences bounce off it. But if you want the deepest, most rewarding racing experience on PS5, ACC is the GOAT. And finally, number 1, Grip Combat Racing, and this is the most slept-on racing game on PS5, hands down. Grip is what happens when you take Roll Cage from the PS1 era, inject it with modern graphics and physics, and crank the insanity to 11. You're racing these futuristic combat vehicles that can drive on any surface. Walls, ceilings, doesn't matter. Gravity is optional. The sense of speed is ridiculous. You're flying through these sci-fi tracks at breakneck speeds, dodging missiles, picking up power-ups, and the game never slows down. It's pure chaos. The combat is fantastic. You've got missiles, machine guns, mines, shields, and using them strategically while maintaining your racing line is the ultimate test of skill. It's like Mario Kart meets Wipeout meets F-Zero on steroids. The track design is out of this world. You're racing through industrial complexes, alien planets, cityscapes, and because you can drive on any surface, the tracks are designed in these mind-bending ways. You'll be racing on the ground, transition to the wall, flip to the ceiling, and your brain just has to accept it. The multiplayer is electric. Races are unpredictable. Comebacks are always possible, and every race feels like barely controlled chaos. Why is this the #1 hidden gem? Because nobody talks about it. It launched quietly. It didn't get a huge marketing push, but it's genuinely one of the most unique and fun racing experiences you can have on PS5. If you play one game from this list, make it grip. And there you have it, Speed Demons, 15 hidden racing games on PS5 that deserve way more love. From sim racers to arcade chaos, from futuristic combat racing to zen mountain biking, there's something here for every type of racing fan. Now it's your turn. What's your favorite hidden gem racing game? Did I miss any? Drop your picks in the comments below. And hey, if you made it this far, you're a real one. So hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that bell so you never miss a video. I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, keep those wheels spinning and those controllers charged. Peace.